Advanced searching strategies, so important to save time. Hi, I'm Meg. I'm happy to present this segment to you. We're going to use Google, but you can use any search engine. But what the focus of this session is to be on the advanced searching strategies, not just put in a word and see what happens and how many million results you get back. We don't want to waste time. We want to get to write what we need and grab it and move on to the thousands of other things we have to do. So I'll use Google. You can use something else if you choose to. The advanced search, let's talk about it. The advanced search is a time-saving tricks and tips that Google gives you. And our librarians are trained in Boolean logic. Google takes all the complicated part out of it and makes it easy for you. If you look, I'm going to Google here about one of my favorite books, about a second, third grade book, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That search right there is a bad search. Look at that. Over, was it 2 million, almost 3 million results. Bad, bad, bad search. If I persevered and stayed with it, my guess is I'd find somebody's meatball recipe. I'd find out where in the world it's cloudy. I didn't put into Google a good search, so I'm going to get garbage out, and that's why we get 3 million results. Then you start clicking, 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 and hours go by. We don't have time. Let's be more efficient. So searching right here in this open box, this doesn't work well if you don't use some advanced searching techniques. So you end up with 3 million. We don't have time for that. So let's dig in. Well, the first thing to do is to find the advanced search. And the advanced search, for some reason, Google took it off the front screen. I'm not quite sure. So to get there, the best thing is to go put into Google Advanced Search, and then you will come up with all different search options. You can be super specific depending on the information you're looking for. Like, for example, if you want to know about a flu outbreak in the past 24 hours, you can drill down and get that specific. So there's a lot of ways that we can drill down and get the information that we really, really need. There's more results than I think I've ever dug in, but the one that really jumps out, this is a new feature in Google, and that is the reading level. Now, reading teachers, don't get mad at me. It's an approximate, but if you teach primary grades, finding stuff at a lower reading level is really challenging. So that reading level just kind of gives you an idea about the web page and what the reading level is. It's a ballpark, but it really does help. So as you can see from the chart, this gives you an idea of the reading level. So 62% are at basic, then you've got intermediate, and not too many at advanced for this topic. And so it just really helps you, and you can see right within the very first one, it says basic reading level. It's just another way to go ahead and sort things, and I think that's very interesting. It auto-detects where you're searching from. I'm not sure why that would be relevant, and unless I go back to my flu example, that maybe that would matter where we are. But you can search all different things. So again, our focus here is to narrow, narrow, narrow. Instead of just doing that whole blanket search, we're trying to get right to exactly what you want. Recipes, discussions, flights, whatever the case may be. I hope there's no flights with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Oh, maybe with Cloudy. And so I had to click on it to see what it is. So here you go. It's just a way to search for different flights. I don't know, to cloudy places? San Francisco is marked. I don't know. Interesting. All right, so search settings. What you want to do is you want to look for the gear in the upper right-hand corner. And that's where you're going to find the advanced search. And so you've Googled at this point advanced search, and now this is where you drill down. Be careful with that safe search button. I have not found that to be successful. I think I'm safe searching, and yikes, just about anything happens. So just know that that's not, things still can appear. Okay, here's what advanced search is. This is really the whole important part of the whole thing. Advanced search. If you put it in all the words, cloudy with a chance of meatballs, like I did in that original search, you're going to get a lot of stuff because that's where we get the meatball recipes, where it's cloudy. The real power of this is the second one. This is the exact word or phrase. So you're going to put cloudy with a chance of meatballs in there in the second one, because then no meatball recipes, only everything to do with that book title, the words in the sequence. So for example, if you were searching for something about rocks and minerals, great, put that in the second line. But if somebody on the web page made it as minerals and rocks, you wouldn't find it. So word order matters there. Any of these words. I don't use this box. I think it confuses Google's. So I actually skipped the third box, but the last one, none of these words. I always put in Amazon, Barnes. And in this case, I don't want anything to do with the movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And so I've actually put movie in there. And if that didn't cut out all of the choices, I might even dig down to the characters in the movie or something to go ahead. So it's going to pull out everything. I'm telling you, just by stopping at none of these words and putting in the word Amazon, you'll dramatically reduce your search results. Here you go. You can drill even deeper to language, region, site or domain. Site or domain I use a lot when I'm searching for things like on NASA or Library of Congress that have these huge sprawling websites, but I can't seem to find exactly what I want. So site or domain helps very much there. Safe search, again, be careful. It doesn't block everything. A lot of people think they said it's strict, no bad pictures are going to come. That's not true. And file type. Sometimes I want to see if I can find a PowerPoint presentation somebody's done, and I can go ahead and pick that as the format. Last one, usage rights. That's really a nice feature in the advanced search. So for example, if I want to search for an image that I could use for commercial use, I go ahead and pull and click that to take the commercial use, and that way I feel better that I could use that for in a presentation or something like that. But I always have to drill down and be real careful about that. And so here we are. Find the words Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. We don't want it there. We want it on the second line. And so that's really important. So we started at almost 3 million with my bad search that I did earlier. And then just by mixing it up a little bit, you can see I moved the title to the second line. And you never want to use the words lesson plans because you end up at all those for fee lesson plan places that don't get you what you want. But use keywords like vocabulary, rubric, some of the things that we use in education. By using those terms, you do get to lesson plans, but you don't end up in those pools of, hey, give me $10 for this lesson plan. You see I skipped the third one, and then none of the words, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and then in this case, movie. So I took those out. Look at this. It's still 3,500 results, but we went from almost 3 million just by stopping there. And if you look at the search bar across the top, you can see that Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is in quotation marks. Google's putting that in for you. And see where it does the minus signs, minus Amazon, minus Barnes. That's because we said no with the terms we don't want. That's how we just went from 3 million to 3,000. So just learning this and teaching this to our students can save hours and hours and hours of time. So very interesting little quick change. And this was interesting. I wandered upon they were like flashcards, and they were all built. They were all made. I was like, woohoo, this is great. So look at this. This is exactly what I was looking for. I thought I would have to make it from scratch, but I didn't have to. So in this case, I wanted images with the words that were in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I'm like, perfect. This is done for me. Pictures aren't fantastic, but they're not that bad either. So I go ahead and do that. And I discovered BookBuilder. I never heard of this at cast.org. So I discovered some very interesting thing. And this is an example of this site. And it has royalty-free music for students to use. You can create, share, publish, read digital books. I would never have found this without doing this search. I thought it was very interesting. I want to find out more about that. And this is actually the BookBuilder. It is a nonprofit. And I'm like, wow, see, I found something new. So now let's change it up. Instead of vocabulary, now let's put in the word rubric. Outside of education, I don't think a lot of people use the term rubric. Now I went from 3 million to 3,500 Now with the word rubric, I just went to 433. Wow, that's worth your time stopping by at the advanced search. Kia, I say Kia, maybe I'm wrong. Kia is a really neat site that you can go ahead and make flashcards and quizzes and things like that. And the vocabulary was already done, a close activity. It's like, this is very interesting. Done by a Title I teacher in Ohio. Thank you very much. I'll go ahead and play the game. So don't just stop at Google on the beautiful clean page. Advanced search. What I actually do on most of my computers is I set the advanced search as my home page. And that way, every time I do a search, I'm doing a good, clean search. So I hope that gave you a few tips and tricks to go ahead. It's going to take practice. You have to practice. And one way I practice is do a bad search first. Like put in just a real generic term and see how many million or billion hits you can get, and then drill all the way down like you saw me do to get all the way down to the 400. And that's kind of just a fun, almost like game that I like to play so people remember Google Advanced Search. Thanks.